So now we continues the sum of root and product of root. So I know the example 6 and other question that we went through in last video is a bit hard. Okay, so let's go through something easier first. Okay, so let's come to the MC part of this chapter. Okay, so actually there's a trick for this part, and also we can make use of the calculator program. Okay, so let's take a look at how to tackle this kind of question type. If alpha and beta are the roots of x squared plus 3x minus plus 7 equals 0, so what's 1 over alpha and 1 over beta? So for sure in long quad, then just like example 6, you would do something like this, and then alpha plus beta negative b over a, so it's negative 3. And then alpha beta is c divided by a, so 7, so it's d, okay? But for sure in MC we won't do it like this, okay? Because we have our program. Okay, so we can, so how should we do it? Okay, so for sure you need to press the program and then input 1, 3 and 7, okay? Because 1x squared plus 3x plus 7. And again, first two output, ignore it, okay? Then we take the third and fourth output. So do you see that there is something like this at the end of third output? Okay, 即係你第三行 output 你有兩行㗎嘛，個答案上面一行你最後見到呢嚿嘢。第四個 output 都係， so the fourth output, okay, the upper row you see something like this at the last, right, at the end. So what does these two mean? It means that the calculator help you to store the two roots in x and y member space. Because actually, I'm not sure if you know it, there are many member spaces provided by your calculator, like the A, B, C, D, X, Y, M. Okay, so how do you press X? Okay, you look at the calculator. If you press alpha and then close bracket, then you will show X, right? And then if you press alpha and then press the comma, it will give you Y, right? 嗱，冇辦法，我而家冇部機喺度，所以講有啲抽象，咁盡量講得清晰啊。Okay, so alpha and beta are now stored in x and y. Okay, so they ask you to find 1 over alpha plus 1 over beta, so you just press 1 over x plus 1 over y, then you will find the answer. Okay? 即係你計數機好多記憶題嘅 A B C D X Y M 啦 ，OK， 咁所以你就點樣可以攞翻嗰個 alpha 同 beta 出嚟 ？alpha beta 今次個 program 就同你 store 咗喺 x 同 y 兩個位度 ，OK， 所以佢叫你求一除 alpha 加一除 beta 啦，其實你撳一除 x 加一除 y 就得㗎啦。So you try to do some other question first. Say this, OK？ 自己試下做啦 ，try on your own first. So again, I will input 2, -3 and -4 in the program. So first two output, ignore it. Then press third and fourth output. Again, the third and fourth output are stored in x and y, these two member space, okay, respectively. So how to get the answer? Okay, so you exit the program, okay, 出返個 program 先, and then you press x squared plus 3xy plus y squared, then it will give you the answer of A. 題都咁做嘅啫 ，okay? So every question is like this. So maybe you can try it on your own as well, okay? And you can check the answer on your own. This one is also A. And then maybe we can try a question that's harder. Let's try the question, let me see, this one. Page 31. Okay, so now it has K. Okay, so how to do it? You think it yourself first. So again, I previously taught you some principles for doing MC. For example, under what situation can we substitute numbers to calculate it? Okay, the first principle is that when the options and the question both have variable, And the second principle is that when they're asking you to find specific value of a variable, which is like this k, they are asking you to find specific value of k. So I will try substitute. If k is really -6, which means the quadratic equation we have now is like this. So what are the two roots? Okay, so you press the third and fourth output to see when they subtract together is the answer -2. So should be no, right? Okay, so you try again. So if k is -3, so you press 2, -5 and -3 in the program. You load the third and fourth output, and then you subtract them and see if their difference is 7/2. So B should be the correct answer. OK， 代落去，然後睇第三、第四個 output， 睇下佢哋係咪爭7/2咯。因為而家你就係想睇下佢哋個 root 係咪相差7/2嘛，係咪 ？OK， so now let's go to page 33. Okay, I want to see this question. If A is not equal B and A squared equals 4A plus 3 and B squared also equals 4B plus 3, then what's value of this expression? So, actually, what is this asking? Okay, so you need to rephrase the question first. Okay, so they are saying that now the equation is x squared equals 4x plus 3 and alpha and beta are the not alpha and beta, this time is A and B are the roots for this equation. Okay, so they change how they express the question, so make sure you comprehend this as well. Okay, so the quadratic equation we now have is like this. So now everything goes same, just like previous question. 咁啦，純粹要明白佢咁樣表達嘅時候係咩意思？其實即係同你講緊條 quadratic 係 x 2次等於 4x 加3啦，然後 A、B 係嗰兩個 root 咁解啫，得唔得 ？Okay, so that's the part for MC. You can also try another question on your own. For example, this question. Okay, so what does this question mean? Okay, so just like the question I taught you just now, it means that the quadratic equation is x squared plus 4x plus 1 equals 0 and A, B are the roots. Okay? So the MC for this session is pretty easy because mostly you can tackle them through the calculator program. Okay, so let's come to page 28. I want to do this question. Okay, again, just like example 5. They gave you the roots, ask you to work backwards for the equation. Okay, try it on your own. So, I assume you finish it. So let's see. So again, I saw the wording, roots. So I will use sum of root and product of root. So sum of root is A plus root B plus A minus root B, which would give you the sum of root as 2A. So you verify which option would give you sum of root equals 2A. For sure, A, B is wrong. And C, the sum of root is negative B divided by A, which should be negative 2A. But now, sum of root should be positive 2A, right? So C and D is also wrong. So correct answer is E. Got it? Okay, so that's all for the MC. And then we go back to the long questions. Okay, just a few questions left. So let's go to, let me see. Let's go to example 7. Let's go to example 7, okay? Page 18 of the note. So let's see. Suppose that one of the roots of the equation 3x squared plus 10x minus 8k plus 3k squared equals 0 is the reciprocal of the other root. Okay, reciprocal 即係點啊？倒數嘛 Okay, so ask you to find the value of k. So for sure you need to let the roots first. So let the two roots, okay, be alpha and because reciprocal, so 1 over alpha. Okay, 譬如2同1 over 2咪 reciprocal 咯 Okay, respectively. So sum of root which is alpha plus 1 over alpha. This time is negative 10 over 3. And product of root alpha times 1 over alpha is 3k squared minus xk divided by 3. Okay, feature A. So, which equation should you use to find value of k? For sure, this one, right? Because you didn't even see any k in the green equation. OK， 即係你要揀邊條式你去用去揾 k， 咁梗係揾藍色嗰條啦，即係下面嗰條啦。上面嗰條你 alpha 加1除 alpha 等於負10除3，連個 k 都冇點揾 k 咧，係咪？你連要你揾嗰樣嘢都見唔到。OK， so let's start. So alpha times 1 over alpha is 1. So you would get this. So you would get a quadratic equation. So k is 3 or negative 1 over 3. Okay, so if k is smaller than 0, which means you take k is negative 1 over 3, so you substitute back into the equation. Then you press the calculator, then you will have the root. Okay? I don't work it out for you for this part. Okay? So let's try. Time for you to try example 8. So let's check the answer. Alpha and negative alpha are the roots for this equation and ask you to find k. So again, sum of root, okay, is negative b divided by a. And then product of root, okay, is, let me see, is negative xk squared divided by 6. Again, okay, so now both equations have k, but which one should you use? For sure, you should use the sum of root, right? Because you see alpha plus negative alpha actually is 0. Okay, so it may make things simpler. So, okay, but you know, if you use the lower equation, like negative alpha squared equals negative xk squared divided by 6, then it may be more troublesome to solve the equation since you have something like square, okay? 即係睇你醒唔醒目咯，你用邊條去揾個 k 啊？今次梗係揾上面嗰條啦，因為你 alpha 加負 alpha 咁係0度啊嘛，咁你易啲減嗰條式係咪 ？So which means negative k minus 4k squared divided by 6 is 0. So 4k squared equals 9. So k squared is 9 over 4. So k is plus or minus 3 over 2. 係啦，有二次。Okay, you got square, so you need plus or minus. So if alpha, if alpha is smaller than 0, okay, then find the value of alpha. Okay, so you substitute back k. For example, I take k is negative 3 over 2. Okay, so sorry. Oh no, nothing. Okay, okay. So you substitute k is negative 3 over 2 plus 3 over 2. So 6x squared plus 9 minus 4 times 3 over 2 square x minus x 3 over 2 square equals 0. So you solve the equation. So there should be one root is positive and one root is negative. So, but now they say the root alpha should be negative. Okay, so you just reject the positive one. Okay. So example 9 we skip it for now. You haven't known how to do it. And then we go to example 10. Again, you try it out first. Okay. 試一試做 example 10 啦。So let's see. So let k be a constant. So both of the roots for this equation are positive number, and one of the root is 4 times of the other root. So, so first step you need to write let the two roots be alpha and beta respectively. Okay. So one of the root is 4 times the other root. say alpha equals 4 beta. Okay, alpha sum of root. Alpha plus beta is negative k plus 1 divided by 2. Alpha beta is 2 plus 2, 2 divided by 2, which is 1. Okay, so you need to find the value of k. Okay, so let's see. You know that alpha is 4 beta, so you substitute back. Okay, which means 4 beta times beta is 1. So 4 beta square is 1. Beta square is 1 over 4. So beta is 1 over 2 or negative 1 over 2. But you know, the root is positive number, so you need to reject negative 1 over 2, which means beta is actually 1 over 2. Okay, and alpha is 4 beta, so 4 times 1 over 2 is 2. Okay, so now we can plug in alpha and beta into this formula. So 2 plus 1 over 2 equals negative k plus 1 over 2. Okay, so you solve the equation. K should be negative 6. Okay, 我做過啦，所以我 skip 咗啲 step。Okay， 純粹我再錄翻次條片啫。But be careful, if you do it like this, you may lose some marks. Because it say one of the root is 4 times the other root. You should specify which root is larger, which root is smaller. So I would say, okay, so don't write like this. I would say let the, since I am now saying alpha equals 4 beta, so alpha should be the larger root, right? So let the larger root equals beta, and let the smaller root be beta. So you need to clearly tell me which root is the larger one, which root or smaller one. Okay, got it? Okay, let's do example 11. So last few questions for this chapter. So alpha and beta are the roots for x squared plus 3x plus k equals 0. Okay, which means x equals alpha and x equals beta. So prove that alpha squared equals negative 3 alpha minus k. So this one easy, right? You just substitute x to alpha, okay, because alpha is a root, okay? So alpha squared plus 3 alpha plus k equals 0. So you are rearrange the terms, you will got the answer. 明唔明？即係因為佢同你講 alpha 同 beta 係呢條式嘅 root， 咁所以你可以代翻 alpha 同代翻 beta 落去，咁你移項就做到㗎啦，明唔明？其實同之前做嗰條一樣啊，咁樣我同你講，我之前講so previously we have a question about the delta, right? Example 3. We say 2 is a root for equation 2, so I told you you need to substitute x equals 2, right? Okay, this one. And now, we are saying that alpha and beta are the root. So you can substitute alpha to x and substitute beta to x. Okay? So, let's try part B. Oh, so they ask you to find alpha square plus beta square. Wow, so you're very excited because you already know the formula, okay? Alpha plus beta square minus 2 alpha beta. So, alpha plus beta, sum of root, which is negative 3 in this case. Product of root, alpha beta, which is k. So, this one is the answer, right? Okay. Remember, this one is wrong. Because the question asks you to use the result of part A. You didn't use the result of part A at all if you do it like this. Okay? So, how should you do it instead? So, you know alpha and beta are the roots, right? Beta is also the root. So, you try to substitute beta to x first, which will give you beta squared also equals negative 3 beta minus k. So, what's alpha squared plus beta squared? So you just add these two together, right? So negative 3 alpha minus k plus negative 3 beta minus k. So you expand the bracket and then you take negative 3 out. Okay, so now you can use sum of root. Okay, so sum of root is negative 3. Okay, although it gives you same answer, but for the left hand side one, like this one, you didn't use the result of part A, so no marks. Okay, so put a star for 11B is a bit hard. 11B 係有啲難嘅，擺一星落去啦。So before we end the video, let's do one more question first. Go to page 22. Okay, I want you to attempt question 5. Okay, so let's go through the question together first. So consider the function fx equals x squared plus k times 2 minus x plus x minus k squared minus 10. Okay, so you don't need to know what's the meaning of a function because you haven't learned it. But all the thing you got is that this is the quadratic equation. Okay, this is the quadratic equation that you need, okay, to work with. So product of root is negative 18. Okay, and then find value of k. So 嗱，你自己做啦，我當你做咗啦，你唔好淨係純抄我嘅答案啦 ，OK？ So let's see. Oh, so the quadratic we have now is like this. 咩係 function 咧？其實冇嘢嘅，即係同你講呢條式咯。咁佢而家同你講 f(x) 等於0啊嘛，咁咪即係呢條式要等於0咯，咁咪一條 quadratic 咯，係咪 ？Okay, so you expand the bracket first, and then you can write it a little bit better. Okay, product of root is negative 18. So negative k squared plus 2k minus 10 equals negative 18. So you rearrange the term which will give you k is 4 or 2. Okay, k is 4 or 2. So for k equals 0, solve fx equals 0. So you try to do it. Okay, 自己試下做啦。So k k is 4 or negative 2. I wrote it wrong. Okay, sorry. So for k greater than 0, which means we have to take k is 4. Okay, so substitute back in the quadratic formula, which will give you something like this. So you expand the brackets. Okay, so simplify it, you will get a quadratic equation like this. Oh, sorry, did I make something wrong? Let me see. Oh, sorry. It should be, I made some calculation mistake. Negative 3x and then negative 18. Okay, so you can press the calculator program, okay? But I don't have the calculator with me at home now, so you should do it at your own, okay? So let's see part C. For k more than 0, if alpha and beta are the roots for the equation fx equals 6, okay? So form a quadratic equation with roots equals to 2 over 3 alpha plus 3 and 2 over 3 beta plus 3. So this is something like example 5, right? They give you the root, you need to work backwards to form the equation. Okay, so let's see. Fx equals 6 means x squared plus k, okay, plus k times 2 minus x plus x minus k squared minus 10 equals 6. But now k is more than 0, so you put k is negative 2. So like this. Okay, so upper simplification, you would have something like this. X squared plus 3x minus 24 equals 0. 我做過啦，所以我 skip 咗 step. Okay, let's see. So now they ask you to form a quadratic equation, right? Form a quadratic equation. So again, let the quadratic equation be x squared plus bx plus c equals 0. And for this quadratic equation, the sum of root is the sum for these two, right? 2 over 3 alpha plus 3 plus 2 over 3 beta plus 3. Okay, so you can write out at a better way like this. So what's the value of alpha plus beta? Okay, alpha and beta are the equation, are the root for this equation, right? Okay, for x squared plus 3x minus 24 plus 0 equals 0. So you know alpha plus beta is negative 3 and alpha beta is negative 24. 係嘛？負 B 除 A 同埋 C 除 A 嘛。So you just plug in negative 3 to here and it will give you the answer of, let me see, 4. Okay? So after working with sum of root, you work with product of root. So for this equation, okay, like 8x squared plus bx plus c equals 0, the product of root is this. Okay, again, you simplify it. Okay, now, what's the value of alpha beta? Okay, alpha beta is the product of root for x squared plus 3x minus 24 equals 0. So alpha beta is negative 24, right? So substitute it. Alpha plus beta, we find already, negative 3. Okay, so you use your calculator, you will calculate it as negative 23 over 3. So we have now found the sum of root and product of root for this x squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So let's see what happens. X squared plus bx plus c equals 0. Sum of root, so it's negative b divided by 1, okay, which equals to 4. Because we found that sum of root is 4 previously, right? So it gives you b is negative 4. Product of root is c divided by 1 because a is 1 in this case. So c is negative 23 divided by 3. So substitute these two numbers. X squared minus 4x minus 23 over 3 is 0. So multiply 3 by the whole for the whole equation, since I don't want to see some fractions. So it will give you 3x squared minus 12x minus 23 equals 0. Got it? 嗱，呢類係複雜㗎，因為首先佢已經俾咗條 equation 嚟啦，就係 f(x)/6 啦，佢又要你再組多條 quadratic equation 喎，咁就會有啲亂咯，明白？ So you need to know which equation are you working at the moment. Okay, got it? 譬如我會同你講呢個 sum of root 係對於我哋而家求緊呢條式，即係 x24加 bx 加 c 到0呢條式嘅 sum of root 得唔得 ？OK， 而 alpha 同 beta 係講緊咩啊 ？alpha 同 beta 係講緊呢條式嘅 root 啊嘛，所以唔好撈亂。OK，so that's all for this chapter. So if you still don't remember, don't understand after you watch the video, so you just seek me for help. Okay, so goodbye for now.